Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by Gator Trim Light, Campus USA Credit Union, Doreen Weeby Realtor, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Meldon Law, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Sensei Asian Bistro, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, B&D Electric, and the Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
It is time to eat some lunch and talk some sports. Welcome into a Tuesday edition of Sports Scene as you listen on WRUF. It's amazing the difference one day can make. Really is. Man, yesterday, back from the Georgia baseball trip, did the on-deck show with Jeff. Nice day. And then about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, the freight train parked at my house. And then it left about 4:15 and ran over me. Man, I don't know what this is, but it's got to go away fast. But we'll get through it. Got a good show planned for you today. Going to talk a little NBA playoffs right at the top with Sean Deveney from Heavy.com because that's cranking up. Also, if everything goes right today, Jenni Carlson from the Oklahoman. We're continuing our look around the SEC in spring practice, so she'll talk OU. Kevin Brockway from the Gainesville Sun will come on and talk about the wrap-up to Florida spring practice in football, his thoughts about some of the positions and things like that. And then we hope to have J. Michael Sturdivant on as he gets ready for the NFL draft here in a little while. For the rest of the week, we got a really good some shows planned for you. We're going to continue our look around the SEC. Andy Burcham, play-by-play voice of Auburn, is going to talk to us not only about Auburn spring football, but about baseball. Auburn here for a series with Florida starting Thursday. And then Buck Bellew, Georgia quarterback, now working sports radio, will be on to preview Georgia spring football. And then Andrew Allegretta, play-by-play voice of Vandy. He'll talk Vanderbilt spring football. Chris Stewart, play-by-play voice of Alabama. We'll talk about Alabama spring football. Friday, Charlie Cream is going to be here. I'm going to talk to him about Florida's hire of its new women's basketball coach, what he thinks of that, and who's doing well in the portal. And then Gator men's golf coach J.C. Deacon is going to be here as they're getting set to start the postseason. So a lot is happening. We come to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio. Full color systems, fully programmable right from your home. You can show off your orange and blue home as well if you want. They really can make your home shine. You can find out more by going to GatorTrimLight.com. We are fueled by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. And all of our guests come to you on the Titan MRI and Imaging phone line. 3 locations in Gainesville, 1 in Lake City to serve you better. Call them for the best MRI you can get. TitanMRI.com. And all of our guests are courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. They won't back down. All right, NBA playoffs going to be happening, full swing. Here to talk about it, well, a great friend of our show, Sean Deveney, who covers the NBA for Heavy.com. Sean, welcome. I think most people at the end of this long journey have the Celtics and either the Spurs or the Thunder at the end in the finals. Is there anything to really go against that train of thought?
Yeah, I think that would certainly be my favorites when you look at what we've got in both conferences. I think the Western Conference has some really good teams. I mean, Denver's a possibility. Minnesota we've seen play really well in the playoffs year after year, even if they haven't been great during the regular season. So that's a possibility. Houston has a lot of talent. But in the end, you look at the West, and it's going to come down to Spurs, Thunder in that Western Conference Finals. And the Spurs have had the Thunder's number pretty much all year. So that's sort of the heavyweight battle there in the West. And the East has been underwhelming. You've had a Pistons team that I think a lot of people don't really have much faith in terms of what they can do in the playoffs at the top. And that's why you have the Celtics considered the favorite with how they've played and getting Jason Tatum back. So, yeah, I think in the end that's how most people are going to see it. You talk to scouts and coaches, most people would pick the Celtics, probably the Thunder in the West, but certainly you'd have quite a few people picking the Spurs as well.
Sean, you've covered the NBA for a long time. I'm not asking this because I'm a Knicks fan, but if you're the Knicks and you fire Thibodeau, who was really good, and you hire a coach and the owner basically says, we got to get to the finals. Now, you're around NBA players. Is there pressure on those players at this point to make that happen?
Yeah, and I think that the players would have put that pressure on themselves anyways. You look at that, especially that starting five. They've invested $175 million in those five players this year. That's an incredible. That's the entire salary cap right there, yeah. And then some. So this is a starting five that has huge expectations, and I think they're aware of the pressure, even if they didn't hear what the owner said. But certainly they did hear the owner say not only should they make the finals, but they should win the finals. And that's a pretty bold statement for a team that is the number 3 seed in the Eastern Conference and has disappointed. Probably should have made the finals last year, but loses to Indiana in the conference finals. They make the coaching change, and it doesn't feel like a whole lot has changed. And even though personnel-wise, this team might even be better than the one they had last year, I don't know that the expectations are really in the same place. This team hasn't come together under Mike Brown the way that they had hoped to, and that really does, I think, have a lot of folks within that organization on edge.
Let me ask about Orlando. There were a lot of people that were sort of in on Orlando at the beginning of the year, thinking with their changes they could make a run. I think it's been pretty disappointing in Orlando. Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. It's been a major disappointment. I mean, nobody would have thought, even if you weren't that high on how good they could be, I don't think anybody would have imagined them, fighting for their playoff lives in the play-in tournament. That is certainly not how they envisioned all this. They make the trade. They send 3 first-rounders and a pick swap for Desmond Bane, and that looked like the guy who could really get them over the edge. Such a great two-way player, but they had the injuries again. Even when they've been healthy, though, they just haven't really played like a team that really likes each other. I mean, they play like a team that they're just looking at the clock trying to get back home, and it's not really a team that the chemistry has been there. Whether that's the coach, and I think most people expect Jamal Mosley to be fired at the end of this year, so it could be the coach. But certainly it does seem like there's some oil and water happening with the players, that they're just not meshing the way the front office thought they would.
Sean Deveney joining us from Heavy.com as the NBA playoffs are upon us now. I think on the flip side of this, Sean, a really good story is Charlotte. I mean, they have, as a franchise, struggled. They've not exactly been, elite in the NBA, but they've got, Miami. Isn't that a pretty good story in Charlotte?
Oh, very, very good, because, even to start the year, they weren't great, and I don't think anybody saw them as a team that was going to be challenging for a playoff spot the way they have. So they've really turned it around. I mean, this is a team that had a 7-game losing streak that was 4-14 to open the year. Nobody really expected them to be the team that they've been. Certainly in the second half, where they've been pretty much one of the better teams in the league, and they've done it defensively, and they've had really just an offensive awakening as well. Knuppel has been fantastic, and sometimes when you have a team that has pretty good talent and you drop in one player who is a great passer, who can space the floor, it really opens up things for so many other guys, and I think we've seen that with Charlotte this year. And with especially with the addition of Knuppel, who I thought was going to be a good player. I did not see him having the kind of impact that he's had. So I mean, this is a team that hasn't been to the playoffs in 10 years. So if they can do something in the play-in tournament and get there, it would be a pretty big weight lifted off of that franchise and where they've been recently.
Yeah, Knuppel has been fantastic for them. Last thing. If you consider, the favorites to be the Celtics and, the Spurs and those kinds of teams, give me a dark horse, Sean, that if things break right, they could make the finals.
Well, yeah, certainly I can imagine Cleveland. I think with the way the Knicks and some other teams have been disappointing, that you kind of overlook Cleveland, but they've had a disappointing year. They've also haven't been healthy. Now they're kind of getting healthy at the right time. You've got James Harden there now. You've got Donovan Mitchell there. You still have that good young front court with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. They've got more depth that they've had in recent years. So especially as number 4 seed, I think they could give the Pistons a tough run in that second round, and you could imagine the Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals, and who knows what happens from there. So I'd probably say Cleveland in the Eastern Conference, and and like I say, with the Thunder and the Spurs, it's going to be tough for anybody to get past them in the West. But certainly Denver is the team that it's hard to say any team with Jokic is a dark horse, but if anybody can upset the apple cart there in the West, it's probably going to be Denver. They haven't been healthy all year either. They got healthy the last couple weeks of the season, and they were red hot, and they're going to be red hot coming into the playoffs. So I think Denver's a team to watch in the West.
Last question. Let's look at the off season, because now we're in the postseason. Obviously, tanking, that whole issue, Sean, you've covered the league for a long time. How big is this off season to get some of those issues right for the betterment of the game?
Yeah, and it's tough because everything they've tried hasn't worked. The play-in tournament was supposed to mitigate some of that, and we haven't seen that happen. It has at times, but in most cases, we really haven't seen the play-in tournament, affect tanking that much. And as long as teams are incentivized to lose, they're gonna continue to do that. But I think there's no question that what the league saw was pretty ugly, with some of the teams and what they chose to do and how they chose to conduct themselves. At least 7 or 8 teams, the Nets, the Pacers, the Wizards, and then out west, certainly the Grizzlies, the Kings, and the Jazz. So, you've got like 6 teams there who were set out to lose pretty much the whole year, and it's tough to run a credible league if you're going to have that many teams trying to lose intentionally. So they've got to get something better sorted out. I think they've got some ideas with the lottery. I'm not sure that those are going to work because if you're creating a system where the top 10 teams have the same odds at winning the lot, then you're still going to have a team at 12, 13 that's going to look at that and they're going to tank to try to get into that top. So you're always going to have a line where somebody's going to tank, and that's part of the problem. So I do think it's important. I hope they can get something worked out. No question, it was pretty ugly in the second half of this season.
Where can people see your work?
Heavy.com, we've got, working on some off-season stuff for sure, but also obviously getting ready for these playing games and the real thing starting Saturday.
Always appreciate your time, Sean. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
You got it. Sean Deveney covering the NBA for Heavy.com. Okay, I'm going to have my producer go grab your mic because I'm going to get a little feel here. Okay, introduce yourself first of all.
Hey, I'm Michael Tubbs, producing for
Okay,
Steve
Michael, here's what I'm
Russell's
doing.
show.
I'm putting you on the spot here. We all know winner is going to for the Celtics, right? So who's your NBA team? Who do you like? Who are you a fan of?
Always got to be a Miami guy, I guess. Orlando, from Florida. Orlando's just not really ever in my lifetime, so I guess it's got to be Miami.
Okay, I'm just trying to get a feel here. Of course, being a Knicks guy all these years, so got a Miami/Orlando, Boston, and New York. If anybody calls today, thank you, Michael. If anybody calls today and you have an NBA team you're rooting for, certainly let me know. All right, now until the 1 o'clock hour, it'll be us. So I hope we can. By the way, I want to ask this. We all know that we're in the portal now, assuming that Denzel Aberdeen comes back. If you look at who's back, now let's play a little game. Everybody probably is not going to come back. They're not going to probably run it back. But if you got one guy going to the NBA, where would you put Florida preseason next year? I have my thought. Now, that's relative, remember, to other teams and what they do, obviously. But just from a, very myopic point of view, if you're looking at Florida, are they top 5? Are they top 10? What would you think? We'll take a break. We'll come back. More to come as you listen to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jalen Foote. Gators baseball took home their 5th series win of the season after taking down the Georgia Bulldogs over the weekend. Florida looks to build on their momentum heading into their game tonight against the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. This will be the first of an 8-game homestand. First pitch is at 6:30 p.m. tonight here at home. Now in gymnastics, the NCAA semifinals start this Thursday. The 3rd-ranked Gators are facing LSU. On Thursday, the Gators starting event will be balance beam with Sky Blakely and Selena Harris-Miranda. The meet is in Fort Worth, Texas at the Dickies Arena, airing at 4:30 p.m. Finally, big news for the men's swim and dive team. Olympian swimmer David Johnson has been added to the roster. Johnson is an 8-time All-American and was a member of the Longhorns Big 12 championship team from 2021 to 2023. Johnson said he chose the University of Florida for an opportunity to train with world-class distance swimmers.
Hey, it's Steve Russell for Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. Friends, they've been in business for 45-plus years, and the Cousins family has done just one thing, but man, they've done it right. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late-model, low-mileage vehicles. I'm driving one right now, have been for a very long time. They've treated me right. They'll do the same thing for you. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville.
Everyone knows Gator Trim Light is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting. But did you know they do so much more? From pool enclosures and businesses to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. Full color systems, fully programmable, right from your smartphone. Invisible by day, stunning by night. Show off your orange and blue home or landscape with GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. GatorTrimLight.com.
In the mood for a delicious Asian fusion cuisine for lunch? Then head to P.F. Chang's in Gainesville. They have lunch specials starting at just $11.99. Happy hour, Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Enjoy $5.99 beers, $6.99 wines, and $8.99 cocktails. Wednesdays are girls' night with half-price wine and champagne bottles. And any day, anytime, sip house and lucky cocktails for $8.99. Celebrate every meal at P.F. Chang's Gainesville, your destination for lunch, drinks, drinks, and fun.
It's lunchtime, and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their Philly sub with fries, thinly sliced beef cooked to perfection and topped with peppers, onions and mushrooms, and provolone cheese on a baguette.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Hey, Gator baseball fans, here's a win you can taste. When the Florida Gators take home a victory at Condren Family Ballpark, you win too at Miapa Latin Cafe. The day after every home win, swing by and score a free Cuban coffee, hot or iced, your choice. Just bring your game ticket to any Miapa location and claim your reward within 24 hours of the win. It's that simple. Gators win, you win. Only at Miapa Latin Cafe, serving Gator fans for over 20 years. Play ball!
Hey Gainesville, tired of big banks that don't know your name? Meet Galabank. Locally owned, locally operated. With over 350 years of combined experience, we're here to help our neighbors, not just customers. No call centers, no appointments necessary, no sign-in sheets, and anyone can cash a check on us. No extra charge. Local bank, local people. Galabank. Find us at 7515 West University Avenue off Tower Road. Galabank. Member FDIC.
Connecting with WRUF at Sports Scene just got easier. Call, email, watch on YouTube or Facebook Live. And now text us on the B&D Electric text line at 352-325-3777. That's 352-325-3777. Gator baseball fans, don't miss On Deck with Steve Russell and Jeff Cardoso live every Monday at 1 on WRUF. Get baseball and softball breakdowns, player analysis, and SEC previews. Listen live or anytime on the WRUF app, YouTube, or Facebook. On Deck, it's a hit.
WRUF, where Gator Nation comes alive. 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Yeah, just to reiterate, got a text question you want to send in? Michael will take care of it for us. 352-325-3777, courtesy of B&D Electric. Professional, reliable electrical service you can trust. You can schedule at bdelectric.com. If you want to send something via YouTube, you can do so. It's all brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union, founded on the UF campus and serving our community for 90 years. And Facebook Live questions from our friends at Ruse Agra State Farm, your go-to agent in Gainesville, North Central Florida for car, home, casualty, and life insurance. The email is srussell@wruf.com. You know that. And it's presented by International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. They carry a terrific assortment of engagement rings, wedding bands, watches, really fine jewelry at International Diamond Center. All right, let's go to our Titan MRI and imaging phone line. Daryl's leading off. Hi, Daryl.
Hey, Steve. Hey, before we get into conversation, whatever you come down with, I hope you get to feeling better, my man.
Me too. I'm trying, but yeah, it's no fun.
Yeah, Steve, give me top 15 for Florida for basketball next year.
Top 15, okay.
Yeah. I just feel top 15.
I think that's a lot of people, and this changes every day, right? Because of who other people get, who other people lose. I'll give you an example. I went on CBS Sports this morning. They've got Florida at number 2.
Wow.
Yeah, number 2. Again, assuming, right, some things that we don't know yet. But, yeah.
Yeah. Steve, golf question and a baseball question.
Oh, God, okay.
Yeah. Casual golf observer, I'll say that. I don't watch it every weekend. But notice during the Masters this past weekend, my son and I was watching it. Is that the only course at Augusta where they mark a tee box with a piece of wood?
I don't know the answer to that. Maybe a golf aficionado would know that. I would guess the answer is yes, but I don't know that. So if somebody's listening can let us know, please do so.
Okay. Baseball game tonight, Bethune-Cookman. As we know, they beat LSU.
Yep.
What should we look for tonight out of Bethune-Cookman as far as playing Florida?
Well, if you look at who they're starting and who Florida is starting, they're starting pitchers that don't throw a lot. But Bethune's had a nice year. They're having one of their better years they've had. So I would imagine they would throw a lot of arms tonight. Florida would throw a lot of arms tonight as well, arms that, don't necessarily get used a great deal. I mean, they got two lefties. Their guy has a no record in a 12 ERA, and Florida's using Jackson Hoyt, who's got a 12 ERA in limited duty. So I think you're going to see a lot of arms that aren't necessarily arms that you would see on a weekend.
Okay. Speaking of pitching, Steve, you think we'll ever get Rodriguez back?
I don't know, what the trust factor is there. I have to kind of wait and see. I mean, obviously, Ernie is the lefty that they trust. But again, if Jackson Hoyt, does a good job tonight and he, puts together, back-to-back good outings, could he be used down the road as a lefty, especially earlier in a game? So that's why, I mean, I get it that, a Gator fan says, oh, well, you're playing Bethune-Cookman, big deal. But it's a chance for these pitchers that don't get to throw a lot to impress Kevin O'Sullivan and maybe get used more during a weekend series.
Agreed. All right, my man, I'll be tuned in tonight.
Appreciate you, Daryl. Thank you. Yeah, Bethune's 25-11, and they're 12-3 in the SWAC, so they're having a really good year there. They're a better hitting team than a pitching team. They hit .293, but only, get this, 27 homers on the year. They don't have a lot of power. They run. They have 88 stolen bases. You don't ever see that, especially in the SEC. And on the mound, their team ERA is about 4.5 or so, but the running game makes them go. Byron, hello.
Hey, Steve, that should be a great midweeker, man. And I'm sure Bethune look forward to playing us, Florida, because I would, and maybe trying to beat them. But, yeah, that's a good test. And, Steve, real quick, I heard one of the baseball players kind of comparing their season to the basketball team. I think they started off slow with Missouri with basketball, and I can give that to the Ole Miss game, and they seem to be on a roll. Real quick, Steve, the leadoff hitter, I'm very impressed with him. Kai Jones, man, that guy stays on base. Where did he transfer in, Steve, or was he already there real quick?
No, he's a transfer. And he missed a good portion of the year a year ago, but he's done very, very well, obviously, and they love him in that leadoff spot. He can run, he can hit for a little power. He's a very, very dynamic leadoff guy. And he went through a funk for a couple of weeks where he was hitting way above 400. His average dropped below 300 at one point, but now he's on a roll again. He's seeing the ball well.
Yeah, I think that's true, Steve. I think we've been injured, we meaning the Gators. And Lawson, I don't know why he struggled a little bit the last couple of weeks, but I think he's back on course, too. Seemed like he got back with Georgia. And real quick, Steve, I'm going to just say 10 for the basketball team because it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And I think that's a good place for us to be at. But 2, I'll take. But, yeah, because at the end, it's, what you do in that tournament. And lastly, Steve, I'll just go with, this already. I'm a Magic Heat fan, but I'm an honorary Knicks fan. So I'm really going to be rooting for your Knicks, but pray for my Magic to get in the next round, but I highly doubt it. But thank you for the call, Steve. Enjoy your show. Hope you feel better. And go Gators.
Byron, thank you. Let's bring in D. Hey, D, welcome.
Hey, what's up, Steve? I'm going to talk about the basketball team, then the NBA right quick.
Okay.
You said if one person goes to the NBA, and I think that's going to be Tommy. I'm still under the assumption that he's going to go. So, but for whatever reason, there's some scuttlebutt going around that the dude from Iowa State that just hit the portal, he's to the Gators. And if we were to get him, man, I've been saying all along, I don't care who came back. If all the bigs came back, they need a stretch 4 a guy that on those pick and pops that are a threat to shoot and make threes, man, because I think that's the one element of that offense that was missing, because when our big guys caught the ball, they were not even being guarded on the perimeter. So if Tommy goes and we get that guy, top 3.
Yeah, I mean, he would be a huge addition, obviously, for just what you said, because he does give a little bit of a different dimension to the team based on also if the rest of those guys come back. That would be huge, no question.
Yep. As far as the NBA, Steve, I talked about it earlier this year. I think Mike Brown is probably under more pressure than any coach in any professional league, in college, you name it, man. Because, like I said, when you fire a guy that's taking you to the best spot you've been in 25 years, the furthest you've been in 25 years, you fire him and you're paying him $30 million not to coach. Yeah, he's under pressure. And I think Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, some of those cats that kind of hinted that they needed a change, they're under a lot of pressure. But, the old saying goes, Steve, you can't fire 15 guys. And if Mike Brown doesn't get them to at least the Eastern Conference Finals or further than what they got, then they're going to be on him, man. The fans, the media, they're going to be on Dolan for firing Tibbs and hiring this guy, because I like Mike Brown, Steve, but I don't think he's an upgrade from Tibbs.
Yeah, I don't either. And I don't have any ill will toward Brown. I just thought Tibbs was, he's a proven commodity. He'd gotten the Knicks a long way. I did not agree with the firing. I don't think some of the players did either. But, it's sad when you have an 82-game regular season and it's almost meaningless, because it's what you do now. It's what you do now. That's how he's going to be measured. That's how the Knicks are going to be measured.
Yep, can't wait for the weekend. Be good, Steve.
Appreciate you, D. Thank you. By the way, it looks like Kelly Rae Finley has made a new stop. She apparently is going to be on the staff at Virginia. They have a new coach there, and she was in attendance at the introductory news conference for the new coach. So if that's the case, good for her, and I hope she does a good job. We'll take a break, come back. Much more to come on Sports Scene. We will take your questions, calls, and comments. Our first hour brought to you by Quality Plumbing. We need a quality plumber. Rely on the same company Gainesville's trusted since 1984. Quality Plumbing, their name says it all. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
Every pitch of Gator baseball, all season long, right here on WRUF, your home for Gator sports.
It's never fun being injured. And with summer on the way, the last thing you want is lingering pain holding you back. Good news. You don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City. Being pain-free is a short drive away. And they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
The commitment from IDC to first responders is really extraordinary.
Veteran firefighter Johnny Hinton talks about International Diamond Center's ongoing support for our heroes in uniform.
IDC has helped us raise just massive amounts of money.
Johnny says in addition to corporate gifts to support charity fundraisers, IDC is there every day, helping first responders with an extra 15% discount on any purchase.
Again, thank you guys so much.
International Diamond Center at Celebration Point.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
Thursdays just got a whole lot better. At Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, it's prime rib night, and it's everything you've been craving. We're talking slow-roasted, perfectly seasoned USDA prime rib, carved just the way you like it, served with a jumbo loaded baked potato and all the classic fixins. Simple, legendary, done right. This isn't just dinner, it's a weekly tradition. And hey, you asked, the head ball coach delivered. Join us every Thursday for premium prime rib night at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Come hungry, leave legendary.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Meta World Peace, what's up, man?
Nah, that's not my name anymore, thanks to Hard Rock Bet.
We're doing this again, are we?
Now I go by Meta over rebounds, under assists, method of first basket, free throw, peace.
Huh, so you really can same-game parlay practically anything now on Hard Rock Bet.
It's the only place I play these days.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start playing today. Hard Rock Bet, roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Hey, it's Jeff Cardozo. Your only home for Gator baseball is WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2. Your home for Gator sports.
Yet to come today, Jenni Carlson from the Oklahoman. We're going to take a trip around the SEC and talk some spring practices, so she'll talk Oklahoma. Kevin Brockway from the Gainesville Sun will kind of recap spring football here at Florida. And then we hope to be speaking to J. Michael Sturdivant as he gets ready for the draft. Don't forget, if you're tired of the big banks that don't know your name, meet Gala Bank, Gainesville's only local bank with over 350 years of combined experience, here to help neighbors, not just customers. No call centers, no appointments, no sign-in sheets. Anybody can cash a check with Gala Bank at no extra charge. You can find them at 7515 West University Avenue off of Tower Road, member FDIC. Let us go to International Diamond Center email. Dustin, I put Florida top 5. Strong nucleus coming back. Think we might be a front runner for the Iowa State kid. As far as NBA teams, I like Orlando, but being born in California, also go for the Lakers and the Clippers. Brian, if the whole front court comes back, I don't see Tommy returning, and Denzel is granted an extra year, I don't see how Florida wouldn't be the preseason number 1. If Rubin and Condon come back with Denzel added, he thinks that's going to happen. Top 10 would be about right. Have you heard the reasoning behind Handlockton transferring? Hated to see him go, as I thought he would finish out a Gator. He's waiting on a waiver, actually. Heard it was due to not knowing if he will get that extra year. UF couldn't hold a scholarship waiting. Don't see how this would be accurate, as this is what we are doing for Denzel as we wait for the NCAA to make the decision. Look, nobody likes it when you leave a program. Everybody loves it when you get somebody, right? So if that does happen for whatever the reason, I think you tip your cap and you thank him for what he's done at Florida. All right, let's get some YouTube questions, and they are going to come from Neo. If everybody returns in basketball plus Aberdeen, they could be a top 3 preseason ranked. And again, our YouTube questions brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. 850 Gator. Aberdeen didn't seem to make much of a difference for Kentucky. Yeah, he did. I mean, just because Kentucky didn't advance very far doesn't mean it was his fault. I think he did okay with them. Facebook questions, courtesy of Rose Orgel State Farm. I think the team could be top 15, top 10. I think they'll need another elite guard to be a title contender. You know, one thing I think is pretty evident here, I think this coaching staff knows what it's doing. They evaluate talent pretty well. They coach up the talent pretty well. I think if you're a fan of this program, you're in pretty good shape. Women's basketball, Tammy Reese is putting her staff together. They've just signed the A10 Sixth Woman of the Year. That's Vanessa Harris, a guard, 5'10", average 10.2 points per game, coming off the bench for guess who? Rhode Island, the team that Tammy coached last year. So, Florida's lost some in the portal. Well, now you got to go out and get others in the portal. SEC baseball, besides Florida's game tonight, the best matchup probably is in Tulsa. Oklahoma is at Oklahoma State, or plays Oklahoma State. Houston is at Texas A&M, and then two ranked teams. That's the best matchup of them on paper. Ole Miss will play Southern Miss. That'll be in Pearl, Mississippi. Everybody else will play a non-ranked team. Georgia is playing East Tennessee State. They'll probably score 20 runs because that's what they do. They beat up on teams that aren't great. And again, I'm not knocking Georgia. Don't take that wrong, Georgia fans. They're in first place in the SEC. They've had a really nice year. And then Wednesday, Missouri plays. And then the Thursday series, there's two of them. One of them's Florida, Auburn against Florida. And then Georgia is at Arkansas. That's going to be interesting. The rest of the schedule over the weekend, Vandy is at Kentucky, Ole Miss at Tennessee. Mississippi State, suddenly not playing good baseball at all, will be at South Carolina. Texas A&M goes to LSU. Alabama goes to Texas. And Missouri goes to Oklahoma. So that's the weekend coming up. All right, let's go. NBA playoffs, college basketball. Anybody want to talk NFL draft? Nobody. I think you're doing this on purpose to me. I really believe this. I want somebody to call, hey, I'm a fan of X team, and this is who we should draft. I'm going to do it for the Jets tomorrow, okay? So if you're a Dolphins fan or whatever, Jags fan, whatever team, I'd like to know not who you think they're going to draft, but who you'd like them to draft. Okay? I'm sorry, the other way around. Not who you think they're going to draft, not who you like to draft. I think the Jets are going to go with Reese. He probably has a little more upside. So I think they're going to go defense and go him. And then the next question for the Jets is going to be, will they draft Ty Simpson? Or will they wait? I think Geno Smith is a terrific signing. He's, on paper, way better than anybody else the Jets had last year. And I will say this, the Jets had better get some wide receivers in this draft because they have nobody besides Garrett Wilson. And they need somebody. I don't care who you have playing quarterback, got somebody to throw to that's decent. And I'm hoping that'll be the case with them. Okay, let me go to the International Diamond Center email. Ed, in your opinion, will Gator baseball be good enough to host a super if they get past a regional? Honestly, to be determined. I don't know. Could they? Yes, I think they could. But I'm not going to sit here and say, yes, they're going to. I can't say that at this point. They need to get some guys healthier. I want to see a little more consistency in terms of the hitting. But their pitching, when it's right, folks, is the best part of their team. The best part of their team. No question about it. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and then we'll take more of your questions, calls, and comments. Don't forget, you can call us on the Titan MRI Imaging phone line, International Diamond Center email, and this hour of the show brought to you by Quality Plumbing, as you listen on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Miranda Vargas. Florida baseball is back at home to play Bethune-Cookman tonight. The Gators took their series against Georgia on Sunday after winning Game 3 13-7, catapulting the team from number 21 to number 7 in Baseball America's Top 25. First pitch is at 6:30 with coverage here starting at 6:25. From women's basketball, Florida star Liv McGill has transferred to Oklahoma State University. The guard entered the transfer portal last Monday and announced her commitment this morning on Instagram. She led the team in scoring, assists, and steals this season, earning her the honor of All-SEC First Team. However, the program is attracting new talent as Tammy Reese pulls an old player over to her new program. Rhode Island's Vanessa Harris has signed with Florida. Coming off the bench for Reese, the freshman averaged 10.2 points per game and earned A10's 6th Woman of the Year and All-Rookie Team.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
We all know the most exciting thing that can happen during a baseball game is a grand slam. Leave it to Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC and the Florida Gators to make it even more exciting. This year, at any SEC home game here in Gainesville, if the baseball or softball team hits a grand slam in the 4th inning, someone will win a 2-year lease on a brand new 2026 Chevy Trax. It's happened before. Will you be the next to win? Davis Gainesville Chevrolet and the Florida Gators. Now that's a hit.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable, and when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started. it.
For more than 50 years of quality service, Archer Electric Service Company has been Gainesville's choice for residential and commercial electrical work. Whether you need wiring, repairs, or backup generator installation, we treat every client like family with professional, clean, dependable service. Don't wait for the storm or the flicker to remind you. Visit ArcherElectricService.com today for a free consultation and see why we've been Gainesville and the surrounding area's most trusted electricians for decades.
Hey, it's Steve Russell. Join me and my baseball broadcast partner, Jeff Cardozo, every Monday at 1 p.m. for the On Deck Show.
Lawson sends it out to left center field. This ball's hit pretty well. It's traveling, and it's going to get out of here.
We'll talk Gator baseball, Gator softball.
Shoemaker's swing sends one high, deep right center field. At the wall, it's out of here.
And of course, Major League Baseball as well. We'll see you every Monday at 1 for the On Deck Show on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and on the WRUF mobile app.
In the heart of Gator Country, some things are built to last. Traditions, family, and real wood furniture. At Would You Furniture, we believe furniture should be more than something you replace every few years. It should be something you pass down, built to last generations. Choose beautifully finished pieces or ready-to-finish furniture you can make your own. Would You Furniture. Real wood, real quality, right here in our community. Come visit our new showroom on Main Street, just north of our previous location, or online at wouldyougainesville.com.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Plenty of sunshine for our Tuesday afternoon. Temperatures warming today to the upper 80s, a light breeze from the Atlantic. Tonight, clear skies early, then patchy fog after midnight, lows in the upper 50s. It'll feel like summertime for the rest of the work week into the weekend, with temperatures near 90 tomorrow. We'll make it to the lower 90s Thursday and Friday, potentially record temperatures Friday into the weekend. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
Always fun to welcome new sponsors to the Sports Scene family, and we welcome Sensei Asian Bistro, Gainesville's best-kept secret, finally being revealed. The premier date night destination for food lovers located in Celebration Point. Sensei Asian Bistro, where elevated dining meets unforgettable nights. Make your reservations today. All right, don't forget our second hour, lots of guests coming up, so hopefully you will stay around for that. Let's get Top Jimmy here on our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Top Jimmy, hello.
Hey, good day to you, Mr. Russell. Welcome back, by the way, from a tremendously successful trip to Athens.
Very good trip, yes.
A sweep would have been great, would have been better, but hey, we'll take it. I listened to the broadcast on Friday, and I watched the game on TV and listened to you and Jeff, even with the delay. But, man, the bats came alive Sunday. How many home runs did the Gators hit Sunday? 5?
I'd have to go back and look, but, I mean, yeah, they came alive. And, you know, Georgia had a TBA going Sunday. I obviously their third starter has been, you know, not really there. And that's why, you know, I just thought if Florida could win one of the two on Friday and Saturday with Sandifer pitching, they really have a great chance to win the series. And then Sandifer didn't pitch well, but the offense bailed them out. And the other pitching was good.
Yes, indeed. And number 4 team in the country went in there and took 2 or 3 from them. The Rays swept the Yankees, and the Mariners swept the Astros. I know we're less than 20 games into the Major League season, man. But the only team that really is playing, in my opinion, exceptional baseball is the Dodgers. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it's funny. ESPN just ran a column yesterday. If you combine the salaries of the Mets and the Dodgers, it's like in the billions. It's in the billions. That's how crazy it is. And the Mets are awful at this point. But there's a lot of parity. There's a lot of, you know, 8-7, 9-7. If this was the NFL, they would love it. But yeah, the Dodgers clearly, I think they're 12-4, 13-4, whatever they are.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Maybe the next surprise team to me is Pittsburgh. I think they're 10-6.
Pirates,
yeah. So
the Pirates are playing some good baseball. And after Skeens got bumped off the hill by your Mets on that opening day, he has settled back in definitely.
And the good, I guess, there's not really. I mean, unless you're in the Dodgers division, because the Giants are already 6 games back. But the rest of the divisions, even the Mets, who are awful, are only 3 games out of first place. So that's why the parity we've seen here, is keeping a lot of teams around early.
Right. And I get that. I mean, we're only 20 games in. There's still 130 games to play. Quickly, Dee and Byron are going to keep you on the air for the next couple of months. I know you have a lament sometimes about this time of year. The NBA playoffs are starting. The Stanley Cup playoffs are starting. And baseball is in full swing.
Well,
see what I did there?
Yeah, and I appreciate that. But that's, in all the years I've done this, you kind of get a feel, right? And look, there's an old saying in the business. A lot of people, the vast majority of people, listen and don't call. It doesn't mean they don't like the NBA or don't like the NFL, but they're not going to pick up a phone or, shoot an email or whatever and do it. I enjoy repartee. I enjoy, hearing from people, even if we don't agree. But it is a little bit sad. And I understand we're in a college town. I understand, if I threw out, who are the top 5 Gator baseball players of all time or something like that, the phones would go nuts. I get that. But I also want to talk about, the NBA playoffs and the hockey playoffs and, who's going to do well in the NFL, all that. The draft is an example. I mean, just nobody cares enough to, pick up a phone or send an email about a draft. And that's just how it is.
Do you give any credence to the draft? I personally have never watched an NFL draft, and I never will.
Yeah, I have. I watch.
You have to for a professional.
Well, no, I mean, because you can go. I mean, once it's done, you can go look and see. Okay, this person was drafted. This person wasn't. I'm not riveted there. I can tell you that. If I'm around, like for example, if I'm around on day 2, I'll flip the TV on. But I'm not going to sit and watch the draft and not go outside and do something. No, I'm not going to do that. But there's an interest in it.
Gotcha. And something I just learned this morning, the Detroit Red Wings are not going to be in the NHL playoffs for the first time in 9 years, I think it was. 2016 was the last time they and the Philadelphia Flyers earned a spot in the playoffs with a shootout win last night. I'll listen to the rest of your comments off the air, sir. Always a pleasure.
All right. The bigger story is Buffalo. I mean, they've been horrible for a lot of years. And growing up, in New York State, the Sabres had Gilbert Perreault. They had some really good teams and good players, but, man, they've fallen on hard times. But they're back in the playoffs, and that is certainly a good thing. That is our first hour. Got a lot of guests coming up in the second hour, but still plenty of time to hear from you as we come to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency. This is Sports Scene on WRUF.
This is former Gator quarterback Shane Matthews, and you're listening to the home of Gator sports, WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Want to get your brand noticed? At Radware, we help you stand out with custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radware even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radware.com. That's radware.com, and let your brand shine.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carry out only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
March is here. It's time to go big with a new 4K TV or projector from Electronics World, so you can catch every slam dunk, three-pointer, and buzzer beater. Electronics World has the best names in the business: LG, Samsung, and Sony, with Ultra HD TVs up to 100 inches. Or let the pros at EW design a system with a 4K projector and custom installed screen. Add a surround sound system so you can feel like you're at mid-court. Visit Electronics World in Gainesville today or online at electronicsworld.net.
Foodies, this is not a drill. Sensei Asian Bistro is now open in Celebration Point, right next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, and it's bringing bold Japanese French fusion flavors you won't find anywhere else. We're talking smoked New York strip, rich matcha curry, melt-in-your-mouth Chilean sea bass, and the fan-favorite Chunggang chili chicken. Feeling adventurous? Dive into fresh crudo oysters or treat yourself to A5 Wagyu tataki. Add in handcrafted cocktails, and you've got your next night out covered. Sensei Asian Bistro. Come hungry, leave impressed.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by Gator Trim Life, Campus USA Credit Union, Doreen Weeby Realtor, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Meldon Law, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Sensei Asian Bistro, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, B&D Electric, and the Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
Welcome to Hour 2 of Sports Scene for this Tuesday. Michael is our producer today. First hour brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Second hour brought to you in part by Domino's Pizza, right in your neighborhood. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or those late-night cravings. Nobody delivers like Domino's. Picking up or ordering, delivery, fast, easy, just a click away. www.gatorpizza.com. GatorDominoes.com. A lot of guests this hour. We're going to start on our Titan MRI imaging phone line. All of our guests courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. J. Michael Sturdivant joins us now after playing for Florida, getting ready for the NFL draft in a few days. J. Michael, good to have you. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me, man.
I've always been curious all the years I've done this show, and I've interviewed athletes, and everybody's a little bit different. At the combine, working out, that sort of thing, was that fun for you? Was there a lot of pressure for you? What was that like?
It felt kind of just like a game day, man. It was like it's something you watch your whole life as a kid, and then you obviously get the opportunity to go out and do it yourself. And like building up to it, you go out, you see the field a couple of days before, and then when the day comes, you have a lot of adrenaline, you have a lot of just good feelings running through your body. So when you finally get to go out on the field and run your 40 and run the gauntlet, run your routes, it's just like you feel like a kid in a candy store. So it was a lot of fun for me.
What do you do now between now and the draft? What things will you do?
Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of working out, interviewing with teams, and at this point, we really have no control on, your future. So you're just kind of waiting for the day and waiting to hear your name called.
I've heard a lot of things, and I don't want you to divulge a team, but sometimes teams will ask you a question and then ask you sort of an odd. Have you ever gotten an odd question from a team about your background or whatever?
I personally haven't got a lot of like trap questions and stuff like that, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Tell me about your time. You played on the West Coast. You came here. Did you enjoy your time at Florida?
Yeah, I loved Gainesville. It was a little different from the other two schools I went to, but it was a fun different. It was the community was really strong there. They're very supportive, and I really enjoyed my time as a Gator.
Did playing in the SEC, do you think that will help your draft stock?
For sure. The SEC is the best conference in college football, so being able to, go out and show your talents against the best in the country was definitely something that I was happy to do.
I've always wanted to ask an athlete this, J. Michael, and I hope I ask it right. You guys are allowed to transfer a lot. You get NIL, right? And that's the way the system is. Whether people like it, don't like it, that's the way it is. In making a decision to transfer, though, is it easy? Is it, I just want to leave here? Is it about NIL? What goes into, for you at least, that transfer process?
Yeah, like you said, everybody's a little different. For me, I've never been somebody that was motivated by money, so money was never, the deciding factor for any of the places that I went to. But for me, personally, it was just situational fits. My play style, I wanted to be able to go into a place that, complemented the way that I played football and someplace that I was going to be valued at. Because at the end of the day, you want to make sure you're on a team where your talents can be respected, your talents can be used, and you want to ultimately give yourself the best chance to have success.
What was your NFL team growing up?
Yeah, I grew up in Overland Park, Kansas, so the Chiefs were the team that I rooted for when I was a little kid.
Yeah, hopefully the Chiefs will draft you. Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
Yeah, that'd be a full circle moment.
That would. Let me also ask you this. In terms of what people don't, look, you can go to a pro day, you can go to a combine, you can work out for a team, but what are some of the things that you did after the season to now to get yourself in better shape and get ready for the draft?
Yeah, so I trained back home in Dallas, and, those guys, they train for the combine every year. They've been doing it for 10, 15, 20 years. So being able to be around guys that know exactly what this process looks like, know what it takes to be successful in this process, that's what I was blessed to be around. And, it just comes with a whole bunch of specific workouts, the right diet plans and things like that allow you to, have the best chance of success once the draft passes and you go into rookie minicamp.
Has it hit you? I mean, to me, I've never been a good enough athlete, but, one day you're a college dude, and the next day, I'm going to be a pro. Did that process sort of hit you?
Me personally, not yet, because I'm kind of in between, college and the pros.
Yeah.
But I feel like that'll hit me a little differently once I step into an actual professional building.
Who were some athletes that growing up you looked up to?
Yeah, so Dwayne Bowe was the receiver He was the guy for the Chiefs.
Chiefs,
so,
yes.
Growing up, I watched a lot of him, and then as I got a little older, I started to realize that there were players that were going to be the same size as me, and I was going to be the same size as them once I was done growing. So I like to watch a lot of Amari Cooper when I was a little kid because he was the guy, at Alabama, and then he got drafted and was a boy in the NFL. So that was another guy that I really watched a lot of when I was a little kid.
Last question. There's a lot that, and I think fans don't see this, there's a lot that goes into, a pass completion. The quarterback, taking the drop, the steps, the protection, what you guys do, what you see at the line of scrimmage. How much did you guys read there's plays called, right? You go out and you line up. How much did you guys read what the defense was doing at the receiver position and go from there?
Yeah, so a lot of routes are, they're based off of what the defense is doing. So when we get the play in, we break the huddle or line up however we line up. You have to understand what the defense is doing first, because 9 times out of 10 the defense is going to give you the answer to the test. You just have to be able to read what they're giving you, and the quarterback has to read the defense the same way you do. The line has to protect against the box. The running back, whether they have a check or they're in the pass progression as well, they have to know what they're doing. And then the receiver, we have to win the route. So if it's a man, you got to beat the man across from you. If it's a zone, you got to get to the spot in the zone that's going to be open. And then the quarterback has to see you in the zone. The quarterback has to see the defense before the snap to know where to put his eyes to see where the ball's going to go. And then he has to make the throw, and you got to make the catch. So, everyone just sees the stats or the completion, but people that understand how complex football is know that there's a lot that goes into every single play.
I'm glad you answered that, because I really wanted people to get a sense of that, because it isn't as easy as lining up. I'm going to run a post. Okay, good. Well, I'm done. It isn't that easy. Last question for you. How big were you in the film room? Was that important to you?
Yeah, so film, for me, it makes me feel like I've been there before come game day. So the more I watch it, the more I'm able to, have the mental reps, and it feels like I've seen these things before. So when it comes to the game day where we have to be perfect or we have to be at our best, it feels like I've already been there before. It feels like I've seen these looks before. I feel like my body has been through these situations before. So it allows me to act a little more on instinct rather than, second guessing or trying to figure out the answers while I'm, out there on the field. Because by the time you get to the game day, you want everything to feel perfect. You want everything to feel natural, and you want to do the smallest amount of thinking as possible.
I hope you will do this. First of all, I really appreciate you doing this and answering the questions, because I love delving into these things. But first of all, good luck to you in the draft, and hopefully when you get drafted and you get a little time, we'll get you back and get your reaction about being drafted and where you go. We'd love to kind of follow what you do, J. Michael. Thank you for doing this today.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
You got it. He's a really bright kid, and I think he's got a good future in the NFL. J. Michael Sturdivant. You see what goes into one play? That's the beauty of sports. I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you when you watch the game in the press box you're thinking of all that. You're not. What's he going to? But think of all the preparation that goes, because if you watch something on tape, well, then they line up in that defense, then you know what they're going to do, right? And Shane, knowing him all the years, he looks at they dictate the coverage. They dictate what receivers and quarterbacks will do. All right, next up, we're going to continue our look at spring football around the SEC. Jenni Carlson from the Oklahoman will talk, guess who? Oklahoma, right? As you listen to Sports Scene, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF. Friends, if somebody's been in business for 45-plus years, doesn't that tell you something? Trust, longevity. Well, that is the case with my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville. The Cousins family has operated that business for the past 45-plus years, and they specialize in just one thing. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late-model, low-mileage vehicles. Great variety, great selection. I'm driving one now, have been for years. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Everyone knows Gator Trim Light is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting. But did you know they do so much more? From pool enclosures and businesses to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. Full color systems, fully programmable, right from your smartphone. Invisible by day, stunning by night. Show off your orange and blue home or landscape with GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. GatorTrimLight.com.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
No, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
Connecting with WRUF at Sports Scene just got easier. Call, email, watch on YouTube or Facebook Live. And now text us on the B&D Electric text line at 352-325-3777. That's 352-325-3777. Gator baseball fans, don't miss On Deck with Steve Russell and Jeff Cardoso live every Monday at 1 on WRUF. Get baseball and softball breakdowns, player analysis, and SEC previews. Listen live or anytime on the WRUF app, YouTube, or Facebook. On Deck, it's a hit.
Your only home for Gator baseball is WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, your home for Gator sports.
Welcome back to Sports Scene for this Tuesday. We've been taking you around a trip to the SEC and spring football, and we're going to now stop at Oklahoma. A guest of our show for a while now. Always like to have Jenni Carlson here from the Oklahoman. She will talk about Oklahoma spring practice. Jenni, welcome. Good to have you.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. Last year, a good year for Oklahoma, but of course fans want more. What stood out to you so far this spring with the team?
Well, I'll revise that. I think it was a great year.
Okay.
I mean, going into the year a year ago, there was questions whether Brent Venables was going to be the coach after the season.
True.
So,
Yep.
So I think the fact that they made the college football playoff, win at Tennessee, win at Alabama, that was a huge step. After the year they had starting in the SEC, things could have really gotten off the rails for them. So I think it was a huge year for them. But as far as what we've seen in the spring, I think spring is always a little hard to tell, and Oklahoma's gotten bit by the injury bug at some positions that they need some pretty big steps, namely wide receiver. That's a position that they just didn't have a lot of difference makers a year ago. Isaiah Satania became kind of the guy at that position, which not to say it's bad to have a guy, but, they need multiple type of, talents like him. And they think they got some in the portal, but they've had the injury bug hit. So a little hard to tell. I think this is going to be a big off season, including this spring for John Mateer. I mean, obviously he had the injury in the Michigan game, had the hand surgery, and then was never really himself again. Just really seemed to, I not to say that he maybe wasn't physically okay, but I think the injury kind of impacted his mental. And so he just needs to get to a spot where he's physically back to feeling 100%, and that allows him to feel mentally at 100%. So I think a lot of things that will need to continue to evolve on offense, but defensively, I think Oklahoma has to like where they are just because they've lost some guys, but they have a lot of guys, and so obviously they're going to have to figure out some leadership positions and those sorts of things defensively. But I think the bigger questions are on offense for this team as the spring goes on.
I had an email from a listener, Jenny Dustin. How does Hayden Hansen look? What's it like having Jason Witten as the tight ends coach?
Well, I think throwing to the tight end is one of the best things you can do in college football, and Oklahoma has not done that for many years. So I'm gonna withhold excitement until I actually see him throw the football to a tight end more than like once every 3 games. But clearly the addition of Jason Witten was huge. I mean, they get Hayden Hansen before they announced Witten's hiring, and I think they knew he was coming, or they don't get Hayden Hansen. I mean, to me, that's not a move a really good tight end makes unless he has some idea that it's going to be a good situation. And up until you change coaches and maybe start to see some light at the end of the tunnel, I mean, there's no reason to come to Oklahoma if you're just going to get, 7 balls thrown to you all year. That doesn't really seem like a great thing. So, but yeah, I'm withholding judgment. I think that Oklahoma needs to throw to the tight end a lot more. They needed maybe some capable tight ends, but they've also just really not done it much in recent years. So I think it's a big step in the right direction. But again, until it happens, I guess I'm not going to hold my breath, because I've held my breath a few times in the past and it hasn't happened. So let's see it in the fall.
We all know what happens in the portal. The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Assess that. Did Oklahoma gain more than they lost, so to speak, from a portal standpoint?
Yeah, I think so. They lost some guys defensively that I think they would have liked to have kept around. I think if you look at their defense last year, they really did stockpile at several positions, especially the defensive line. They had a lot of talent and a lot of depth on the defensive line, which you can never have enough of either in the SEC. They probably would say they need more. But, they lost some linebackers to the portal that were a little bit surprising. Kobe McKenzie probably top of the list. And he's a guy that filled a captain's role last year for them, but decides to play his last year at Northwestern instead of at OU. So losing some leadership guys like that is a little bit of a, let's see how it pans out at different positions. But, I think when you look at the sorry, I'm at Thunder shoot-around this morning, and that was a buzzer going off in the background. My apologies. Okay. But I think some of their biggest deficiencies last year on offense were just playmakers. They need more running backs. They need more receivers, as I mentioned earlier. And so I think their upgrade in talent in those 2 areas, at least on paper, is good, and that should help them. I mean, if they had an offense that was anywhere close to – you don't even have to get back to the Lincoln Riley standard of offense at Oklahoma, but you have to have a capable offense. And last year – they had a team that had a defense good enough to go as high as you want to go. I mean, I really think that defense was a national champion level defense. And ultimately that offense just wasn't good enough. They have to be better on offense if they want to take the next step. So I think the upgrades that they saw in the portal for their offense, that's where you see the biggest changes. And, yeah, I would say that even with some losses that they really would have rather not had, they're probably fairly happy at the end of the day with the trade-offs that they got.
All right, let me ask about Mateer. Came from Washington State, showed flashes certainly. In your mind, Jenny, where does he have to get better and improve to become a better quarterback?
Yeah, last year was such a weird year. I mean, he gets hurt in the Michigan game, and he leaves that Michigan game, and people think he's in the running for the Heisman. I think he was in the running for the Heisman, I don't know that Oklahoma could have him run around as much as he did against Michigan and have that be a winning strategy. I mean, I think that's how you get guys hurt if they are leaned on too much, and their running game had gotten so neutralized by a variety of things that they needed him to do that. But long term, he couldn't do that. They needed him to throw the ball more, and ultimately, they need him to be better making decisions. I think the throwing of the ball, I'm sure there are things mechanically that he or anybody around him would say he needs to improve on, but to me, it was mental last year. He missed open guys from time to time. He made poor decisions from time to time. And again, I don't know how much that was a byproduct of what he was going through mentally after the injury. He came back so quickly after he had the hand surgery that, he was bleeding during the Texas game. That was his first game back, and he's visibly bleeding after he broke open the stitching. So, this is a guy that wasn't 100% physically fine for much of the season, even though he would have said, I'm fine. That's still going to be on your mind. It's his throwing hand, for God's sake. I mean, there's things that are going to affect him. So how he progressed last year, I'm not real sure what all he has to improve on, because I just don't know that was a true linear type of thing. And no player improves on a straight line. I get that. But it was such a weird thing, and having him out there when physically he wasn't as good as he could be and how that impacted things, we're going to have to see. I think there's probably things he needs to work on, but as much as anything, he just needs to regain the confidence and the vision and some of those things that I think were lacking as the season went on.
Jenni Carlson from the Oklahoman, talking Oklahoma spring football. Here, I think Florida is pretty confident in two quarterbacks that, either one could start. I believe Neubauer and Bentley are the other guys behind Mateer. Where are they in terms of development if Mateer gets hurt?
I mean, isn't every great program in the country basically one quarterback injury away from disaster? I mean, I think that's where Oklahoma is. I mean, could they play those guys? If they had to, yes, but they don't want to have to. I mean, the way that the portal is set up with the money that these guys are commanding at quarterback, you got to go after the best available and then hope like hell he doesn't get hurt. Right. John Mateer got hurt last year, and it impacted his play, and they still thought he was their best option. So I think in Oklahoma's mind, the best option they have is John Mateer staying upright, not getting hurt again, and just see what happens. I mean, but I think that's got to be every major college football in America's prayer every night, is that their quarterback doesn't get hurt. That has to be the last thing that they ask for, because that's just, you just can't stockpile quarterbacks. I mean, Oklahoma, when they had, Jason White, they also had Nate Hibble, and they had all these other guys that could come in and play. And that's just not the era anymore. Guys, there's just not a stockpile of quarterbacks. So, are those other guys coming along? I'm sure they are. But anybody that is, looking at Oklahoma seriously is saying they just want John Mateer to stay healthy.
All right, I'm going to end because you're at a Thunder practice. They've had a tremendous year. We all know how good they are. And, San Antonio has played them well. What's the mindset of this team in terms of, where they go here in the playoffs?
They're chasing another championship. I obviously San Antonio is a legitimate contender. I don't think there's any way around that. If you're the Thunder, they've seen it and they know that that's a definite potential roadblock. But I don't know if anybody's been paying attention, but the Denver Nuggets are still really good too.
Yeah, they are.
And that would be probably a second round matchup between the Spurs and the Nuggets. This is the first time the Spurs have been in the playoffs, so they don't have any idea how they're going to respond to any of this. I mean, the first time the Thunder was in the playoffs, they didn't make it past the first round. So who knows? I mean, I think that the Spurs are a unique bunch. I think they make it to the second round, but man, we saw the Nuggets here a year ago, what they can do in the playoffs, their experience, their savvy, their talent. So I don't necessarily think it's a Thunder Spurs collision course, because the Nuggets are still so good. But, clearly these guys now at Oklahoma City, they know what it takes. They know the grind. They know the rhythm of it. Right now they're in the position where they're basically not doing anything for the entire week. They won't know their opponent until Friday. but they've lived it. They lived it last year. They got the sweep in the first round, and then they lived another week off until the second round. So they kind of know what's up. They know that, one game is not defining. They get to do it again. And so I think that the experience of last year is only going to help them as this playoffs goes on.
Jenni, great minds think alike, because I don't think I'm right with you. Everybody's just throwing Denver like they're not any good. It's just like a two-team. Yeah. Beware of Denver. I hear you. Where can people see your work?
Go to theoklahoman.com. I'm Jenni Carlson on all the socials, JenniCarlson.
All right. Always appreciate you doing it, Jenni. Thank you for your time.
Thanks. Be well.
You got it. Jenni Carlson does a great job covering OU, the Thunder, etc. Okay, we're going to come back, and we're going to talk to Kevin Brockway from the Gainesville Sun, talk a little Gator football with him, his impression of the spring game and some position challenges, all of that. We'll do that coming back as you listen to Sports Scene, brought to you this hour by our friends at Domino's Pizza. You're listening to Sports Scene on WRUF.
Every pitch of Gator baseball, all season long, right here on WRUF, your home for Gator sports.
It's never fun being injured. And with summer on the way, the last thing you want is lingering pain holding you back. Good news. You don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City. Being pain-free is a short drive away. And they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger, and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine. Hey, Gator baseball fans, here's a win you can taste. When the Florida Gators take home a victory at Condren Family Ballpark, you win too at Miapa Latin Cafe. The day after every home win, swing by and score a free Cuban coffee, hot or iced, your choice. Just bring your game ticket to any Miapa location and claim your reward within 24 hours of the win. It's that simple. Gators win, you win. Only at Miapa Latin Cafe, serving Gator fans for over 20 years. Play ball!
The best conversations happen with Los Linderos tequila, like this recent conversation between 2 Gator legends.
Coach, you know, it always impressed me how you beat Florida State to win the 1996 national championship.
And I was really impressed with your 06, 08, and 09 Gator teams.
And the way you coached Danny to the Heisman Trophy.
A lot like what you did with Tim Tebow.
To the Swamp and the Gators, with the best beverage served at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. 100% agave, Los Landeros tequila, aged in bourbon barrels for a smoother taste.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
The Tailgate with Jeff Cardozo and Zach Albuquerque. Weekdays at 4, right here on WRUF.
Welcome back. We will now talk about Gator football spring. By the way, the rest of the week, tomorrow, Andy Burcham's going to join us, play-by-play voice of Auburn, to talk not only spring ball, but also their baseball team as they get set to play Florida. And then we'll talk Georgia, Vanderbilt, and Alabama on Thursday. But right now, we're going to talk Florida spring ball with my buddy Kevin Brockway from the Gainesville Sun and fellow Mets sufferer. What is going on here?
You know, the 4 stages, right? Anger, denial, depression, and acceptance. I think I'm near the acceptance stage. This might not be a very good team, Steve.
Yes, we'll save that for last. Obviously, did not get a chance to see the game in person because I was in Georgia with baseball. You did get a chance to see it. What were your impressions overall of the spring game?
Well, slow start, picked up in the second quarter. Obviously, some big plays. We had been hearing about Micah Mays all spring, and he showed it on the field. 4 catches, 122. Really nice catch from obviously Tramel Jones, Eric Singleton. Looked very good, too, 4 for 83 and a touchdown. Yeah, and it really opened up in the second quarter. Buster Faulkner talked about postgame, obviously not showing a lot, but they did hit him on some news. And, obviously the big concern or the big takeaway from John Sumrall, coming out of spring in general was the offensive line and them needing to have a really good offseason, obviously, particularly in the weight room. And you saw early in the game on short yardage, they had Jaden Ball only in for one season, but he failed to convert on that 4th and 1. And that was a sign of, movement on the line of scrimmage, which is something that he's going to want to see.
I do think, though, not because he played at Florida, Kevin, but I think Troutwine is one of the best offensive line coaches in the country. I think he's eventually going to get this right. Do you?
I do, but again, I think it's going to be hard because of the fact that, and what they're trying to stress too is positional versatility here. They had Emeka Gorgie, the Stanford transfer starting at left tackle and Caden Jones on the right side. And then, inside you do have Najee Harris and, Bryce Lovett, it appears has moved inside at right guard, but you could play him some at right tackle also where he played last year. Egan Boyer is another guy that you can mix and match at left and right tackle. So, and I think Harrison Moore and Jason Zandamela at center are kind of neck and neck there. So there's going to be some good competition in the fall, and it's going to be up to Phil Troutwine, who, he's produced, developed All-Americans. He's a very, cerebral guy, and I think he will get a chance to figure this out. But you have to have the horses too, Steve.
Yep.
And I think that's, the area too where – obviously, a guy like Fletcher Westphal, who's unfortunately been hurt the last few years, you don't quite have the depth there that you have at other position groups, unfortunately.
Defensively, I think they have a chance here, Kevin, but where do you think their biggest issues might be on that side of the ball?
Well, it's interesting because the secondary, they had 3 picks. I mean, that was good, but they got beat on some deep plays, too. Some of the corners. I know Ben Hanks has had a very good camp, so he's pushing for a starting job there with Cormani McLean and Dijon Johnson that's coming off the injury. I know that, John Sumrall said during spring camp that he wants to see a little more maturity from those guys, right? But I think the safety room is pretty good with Bryce Thornton. I mean, this Baylor transfer, DJ Coleman and Cam Dooley both had interceptions in that game. But I do like the linebacker room. I like the defensive line. Jaden Woods is an edge rusher, and even KJ Ford showed a little bit. He had a sack in that scrimmage, too, as a guy that, maybe as a true freshman can provide a little depth there on the edge. And And I think they like the defensive tackles too, and they really like, kind of that F position too with, Cam James back with L.J. McCray and Emmanuel Obadijo. The three of those guys, I mean, they feel really good about that spot over there.
It's interesting to me. The thing that I have said that I think a fan watches that game, and the word that came to mind is hope. That, you can look at what's there given the first year and hope that this is the right guy, this is the right staff, they'll do the things necessary to get them where they're involved in the playoff. Do you think that's an accurate word to describe where they are at this point with the fan base?
Oh, yeah, and I think, anytime there's a new coach, there's a little bit of a honeymoon period. But I think what Sean Sumrall is trying to do is kind of break them down to build them back up. That's been kind of the theme of the spring, right? Physicality, getting them in at, 5 in the morning for workouts, lifting weights, then practicing at 8:30 in the morning. I mean, this is all about, I think, providing a little bit of a discipline or a structure that they want to carry into the season, and accountability and the physicality that they're going to want to play with in terms of a week-in, week-out approach that they hope is going to, bear some fruit. Yeah, and I keep going back to the schedule, too. I mean, I know the fans don't like losing Tennessee and LSU as yearly rivals, but I think that schedule-wise, that certainly helps. Even though you're going to this 9-game SEC schedule, trading them with Kentucky and South Carolina.
Yeah, no doubt. Last couple of things, Kevin. When you look at the quarterback position, you can nitpick who did what. Most people think this is going into the fall before a starter is named. You agree?
I agree, yeah. And I thought that, you kind of heard some rumblings that Aaron was a little ahead of Trammell, but, when the lights went on in the orange and blue game, Trammell probably played a little bit better. Less mistakes, more yards, hit a big pass. So I think Trammell certainly helped himself in that regard. But it's still an intricate offense. It's still an offense under Buster Faulkner that, again, didn't show a lot in that game. So, I think Aaron's familiarity is going to take him into fall camp still with maybe a slight edge. But Trammell will have time to catch up, and he'll have a chance to prove himself. And I think that, certainly, again, this has a possibility even to go into the season a little bit, before the SEC opener against Auburn in terms of because they do look neck and neck to me. They do. Trammell does throw a pretty deep ball, but Aaron has got a grasp. And I thought Aaron bounced back from the interceptions really well. Made some throws, certainly, that touchdown to Vernell Brown and then one to Micah Mays near the end of the half as well. So I think that they both certainly showed some good things throughout the course of that game.
Kevin Brockway, Gainesville Sun, joining us here as we talk Gator spring football practice, which is now wrapped up. I don't think it takes a rocket scientist, Kevin, to look at the wide receiver room and think, boy, if they stay healthy, that's a lot of options for you and I if we were the quarterbacks. I mean, isn't that the strongest position on the team?
Oh, yeah, I think so, in terms of the talent and the possibilities there. And I think, Micah Mays certainly has been the pleasant surprise. He kind of reminds me a little bit of maybe even a taller version of Chim Dike, just in terms of his, route running ability, his intelligence. He's, we've had him up on the podium a few times. Very bright kid, very, mature kid, it seems like, for his age. And someone that, came from West Palm Beach, the Benjamin School that, of course, produced Kyrie Elam. Was a former track guy in high school, so he brings, more speed. Sean Sumrall says he wants him to get a little more maybe physical on the blocking, if that's one knock on him, but he seems to do everything else well from the wide receiver position, and it certainly adds a boon and, again, provides insurance if, Dallas Wilson doesn't recover, although, John Sumrall, in that post-game spring press conference seemed very confident that, Dallas Wilson is going to be fine come the fall and is going to, go into the season ready to roll.
Last question. When bigger picture here, there are some who think the SEC championship game is going to go the way of the dinosaur and not be played anymore. Two-part question. Do you think that's the case? If so, does that bother you?
Yeah, I think with the expansion of the playoff, it's an inevitability. And, yeah, it does bother me a little bit because it's nice to crown an SEC champion on the field. I'm sure that they will do it by the regular season again, right, which they did many years in the 80s and the 70s. But there was a certain spectacle to that game in the 90s, and it really was for many years, right, kind of a de facto playoff game, right, in terms of the way it shaped out of the BCS when you had, the 4-game, and even the 2-game, right? You remember those years in 2006 where you're scoreboard watching for USC and Florida winning the SEC title. It became that, and now it's going to be kind of taken away, which is unfortunate, but it's the way of the world. You're trying to create some more entry points and possibilities and more hope for teams in terms of college football during the regular season. It devalues the regular season and those championship games, but it kind of creates more opportunities down the road. It's kind of like the old adage. It's like, do you reward the best body of the work, or do you reward the team that's playing the best at the end of the season? I guess that's kind of like the way these expanded playoffs go, right?
That's right. And I'm going to end with this, and I'm going to do a disclaimer here for those who are listening, because this is something that Kevin and I do when we see each other. We kibitz about the Mets and the Jets, et cetera. So I'm just going to do this live with an audience here. And it's funny that you said that. I mean, what are we, 17 games into the year, whatever the heck we are. And what you said orally a little while ago is what I was thinking. And granted, they don't have Soto. I get that. But I'm thinking maybe this just isn't a good team. And I know it's not, you don't give up after, 15, 20 games, but I just don't see it so far.
Maybe we're prisoners of the moment. Who knows? They started bad in 2024 and they ended well. And in 2025, it was the opposite, right? So maybe that's my only hope I'm holding out. Maybe reverse psychology here is that they figure it out in May and June and it carries into the second half of the season. But, yeah, no Soto really hurts that lineup, obviously. And just his, Soto is the kind of guy, as you know, even when he's not hitting, the stress that he puts on opposing pitchers has a domino effect on the rest of the lineup. And I thought Alonso had a really big year last year because of Soto hitting in front of him. But when you don't have that presence in the lineup, it makes it a little easier for the pitchers to get through the order.
All right, where can people see your work?
At Gatorsports.com, Gainesville.com, at Kevin Brockway G1. Steve, always a pleasure, and let's hold out hope that things will turn. You never know. You
do never know. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Yep, I've known that guy a long time. He's really a good dude, too. Kevin Brockway talking Gator spring practice. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the show today. Still plenty of time to hear from you. Got some emails to get to. As you listen to sports, you can come to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jalen Foote. Gators baseball came home with another series win. Florida had a 2-1 weekend against the Georgia Bulldogs. The victory had put the Gators back in the D1 baseball top 25 rankings at number 20. The Gators hope to continue their momentum going into their 8-game homestand. To kick off the homestand, Florida faces Bethune-Cookman tonight at Condren Ballpark at 6:30 p.m. Big news for women's basketball. The Gators have signed the 2026 A10 Sixth Woman of the Year, Vanessa Harris, to the roster. Harris is transferring from the Rhode Island Rams. The guard averaged 10.2 points per game coming off the bench for Coach Rice, with ranking third on the Rams in scoring as a freshman. Florida also signed Mallory Miller. Miller is a 6'4" forward transferring from Butler University. Last season, Miller averaged 9.6 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 2.7 assists per game.
He's got the 1966 Heisman Trophy, the 1996 National Championship Trophy, and 7 SEC trophies. Now he's got a new trophy, a can of beer. Steve Spurrier was the head ball coach. Now you can call him the head beer coach. Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager is available in 16-ounce cans at Gator games and stores all across Gainesville. You can also get it in the can or on draft at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Refreshing in all kinds of weather, Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager, a legend in a can.
Attention local and regional CDL-A drivers in the North Florida area. Pritchett Trucking is currently looking for local and regional drivers. Are you looking for a driver-friendly environment? Pritchett Trucking offers more home time, great pay, and great benefits, including health insurance and paid time off. And they also offer a quarterly performance and safety program, plus a sign-on bonus. Pritchett Trucking's regional drivers are home weekends and local drivers are home daily. If you're at least 23 years old and want a rewarding career with great pay, don't let the opportunity pass you by. Apply online at pritchettrucking.com.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howabouttoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
We all know the most exciting thing that can happen during a baseball game is a grand slam. Leave it to Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC and the Florida Gators to make it even more exciting. This year, at any SEC home game here in Gainesville, if the baseball or softball team hits a grand slam in the fourth inning, someone will win a 2-year lease on a brand new 2026 Chevy Trax. It's happened before. Will you be the next to win? Davis Gainesville Chevrolet and the Florida Gators. Now that's a hit.
March is here. It's time to go big with a new 4K TV or projector from Electronics World, so you can catch every slam dunk, three-pointer, and buzzer beater. Electronics World has the best names in the business: LG, Samsung, and Sony, with Ultra HD TVs up to 100 inches. Or let the pros at EW design a system with a 4K projector and custom installed screen. Add a surround sound system so you can feel like you're at mid-court. Visit Electronics World in Gainesville today or online at electronicsworld.net.
In a world of big banks, there's only one truly local choice in Gainesville, Gala Bank. Locally owned and operated, Gala Bank is built by people who live here, work here, and care about this community. With over 350 years of combined banking experience, you'll always get trusted guidance and personal service you can count on. And with convenient 7 to 7 hours, Monday through Saturday, banking works around your schedule, not the other way around. Local bank, local people. Gala Bank, member FDIC.
Gainesville's best-kept secret is finally being revealed. Introducing Sensei Asian Bistro. Located in Celebration Point next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Sensei delivers a one-of-a-kind Japanese-French fusion experience that's as refined as it is unforgettable. Indulge in signature dishes like our smoked New York strip, Chilean sea bass, matcha curry, or the crave-worthy Chunggang chili chicken. Pair it all with handcrafted cocktails, fresh crudo oysters, or our premium A5 Wagyu tataki. Sensei Asian Bistro. Make your reservation today.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
Plenty of sunshine for our Tuesday afternoon. Temperatures warming today to the upper 80s. A light breeze from the Atlantic. Tonight, clear skies early, then patchy fog after midnight. Lows in the upper 50s. It'll feel like summertime for the rest of the work week into the weekend, with temperatures near 90 tomorrow. We'll make it to the lower 90s Thursday and Friday. Potentially record temperatures Friday into the weekend. From the WUFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Megan Borowski.
If it happens in Gator Nation, you hear it on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
All right, let's wrap things up today here. International Diamond Center email BB after the spring game. What's been the general impression of Gator football by the experts who report it for a living? That Florida's on the right track, but it may take a little while. Talks about the crazy shot of Rose at the Masters. Yeah, that was something to see, no doubt. Patrick, is Rothrock elite? Depends on your definition of elite, but I would say when she's healthy, she is. In your heyday, how fast was your fastball? They never could measure it back in my day. That was so long ago. My best pitch was a breaking ball, not a fastball. Let's see here. Let's get YouTube questions, courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union. Mortal Jim might have one of the deepest backcourts in the country. If Aberdeen gets his waiver, seems like Condon and Chinula are back. I think if Houck goes, we'll get the Iowa State transfer. If all that happens, top 5. If we don't get Houck in the transfer, top 20. Greg, as a Bucks fan, love to tell who the Bucks need. I honestly don't know. Okay, I will do that in a future show. Greg, be glad to. Let's see here. Another YouTube brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Looks like my Steelers are going to go after receivers and defensive backs in the draft. They have 12 total picks, mostly in the 6th and 7th round. Luke, do you think more teams should play or should shy away from just taking a quarterback so high in the draft and take the best player available? I think it just depends on what your needs are, right? And then how do you evaluate that quarterback? I mean, how many times have we seen whoever the player is get evaluated very highly and for whatever the reason don't work out? So I understand if you need one, but sometimes teams overvalue players. I agree. It could be better to wait until the next year for better options like a quarterback and take the top old lineman or D lineman. Yeah, like I hope the Jets will do. James, how good can this year's offense be if the offensive line is below average? Not good. It'll be okay. If you can't protect or open up running lanes, it is not going to be easy. All right, that's going to do it for the show today. Don't forget, tomorrow we'll continue our look around the SEC. Andy Burcham from Auburn will preview Auburn spring football and the Auburn baseball series with Florida. Trey Smack hopefully joining us tomorrow to talk about his preparation for the NFL draft. And we have a lot more people coming on later in the week to talk about SEC spring football. Thanks to Michael for producing today. Thanks to you for listening. Kevin and the Sports Lab gang next. Don't move your dial as you listen to Sports Scene on WRUF. See you tomorrow.
Turned around, and I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground, and I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I will stand my ground, and I won't back down. Well, I know what's right. I got just one line.
This is former Gator quarterback Shane Matthews, and you're listening to the home of Gator sports, WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their gamberi salento, shrimp, fresh tomatoes, and zucchini sauteed in garlic and oil with penne pasta and Romano cheese.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
Nobody does catering like P.F. Chang's. Elevate your gathering with our buffet-style catering pans. Packed with bold flavors and generous portions of your favorite dishes, we make it easy to serve and even easier to enjoy. From chopsticks to dessert, everything's ready for pickup or delivered right to your door. Choose individual meals, customizable catering packages, or build your own perfect feast. P.F. Chang's Catering. Your feast perfected. Order now at pfchangs.com/catering.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. you're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
Looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville? Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center is just steps from the Swamp, the closest hotel to UF. With 6 stylish floors of brand new everything, we've been completely renovated and fully remodeled for your comfort. Enjoy the best guest services in town, competitive rates, and a location you just can't beat. And don't forget about our rooftop pool. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. Visit us online today for details and booking.
When you're ready to stop renting and start building something that's truly yours, when you're ready for that backyard barbecue, that front porch swing, or a place where the holidays finally feel like home, Radiant Credit Union is ready too. Right now we're offering a special low mortgage rate with flexible terms, fast approvals, and guidance for every step of the way. So when you're ready to make your move, let's get started. Radiant Credit Union. Visit radiantcu.org and apply today. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Opportunity Lender.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF